Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It was a tremendous passing display that this man put on last week. Short, deep, intermediate. He made all the throws, and he had the yards to prove it, not to mention the win. He's riding high coming into this game. It's the Raiders going up against the Chiefs. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. It's the first carry here for Jamal Charles. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
If there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. James O'Shaughnessy, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are...
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught here by Conley. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go. 319! 319!
They'll go to the air. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Look at the big man rumble. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and, boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And now here comes Kansas City.
Roger. Even. 4 down. Even. Hurry up, here we go.
They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run, combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Come on out here. Come get some.
Following the penalty, here's Charles. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And now a first down following that long gain.
3 down, 3 down.
They'll come out in the pistol.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
The first down carry here for Charles. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy? Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes the play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw. This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
319.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Back to throw. Going underneath for Charles. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Chris Conley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on a slant. In this amount of time, I think it's a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
All right, here we go. Watching now, Barney.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Macklin. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to, and it's 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And able to find Conley. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Tight end to the left, tight end left. 4 down. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a handoff. This is Charles. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
319.
Now back to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Hey, 4 down. Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end. And now it's 2nd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
4 down. Check. Set. 319. 319. Hey. Detroit. Hey, check 24.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Muscles him off. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now a a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? You go with a bigger guy to try and use size. You got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hands. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Caught here by Conley. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Here we go.
10th carry now for Jamal Charles. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19, Philly, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Watch 80. Watch 80. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They go back to the ground now with Charles. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Over. Blue 90.
They'll drop the throw. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Back to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Cordero Patterson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he...
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Hurry up, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Watch twist. Now let's go. 3-19. Gun. Shit. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Check.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both teams have had their moments so far today, and that's why we have a tight game on our hands. We'll have to see if either side can take control in the second half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 2nd and 8. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and he's gone as he sprints into the end zone. The Chiefs on top by 6. 3rd down from inside the 30. Here we'll get a fumble on the return. Raiders recover the ball and return it for a touchdown. They go up by 1. 3rd down from inside the 10. Conley's found on the quick pass and catch, and now they get in for the touchdown. They go up by 6. Chiefs line up at the 13. The pass will be completed on the slant, and 13 yards later, he'll go in for the score. The Chiefs on top by 6.
Four down.
Charles the low setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. And he has not been able to find the same type of running room this week as last. Such a great game. We met with him. He came in, had the biggest smile on his face, so we just thought that would carry over.
Sometimes you wonder if maybe it borders on a little overconfidence. They were so good last week. He's getting extra blocking out on the perimeter from the wide receivers to get him downfield. In this game, maybe he came into it with the idea that it's just going to be like last week, be a piece of cake. And what they're getting from the defense isn't exactly the same. And, boy, it's been tough going for him. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Now back to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. All the here on 1st down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Jihad Ward in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Single. Motion. Watch 10. Now let's go. Watch it now, Barney.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target, and it's third down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look right to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Four down. Check.
Charles the lone setback. And they'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
3-19. Watch it now, Barney. Check 31. Back 99, Philly. Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
He'll look to throw. A dump off for Charles. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Jeremy Maclin, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of it? Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Watch the screen. All right, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 here.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Green 39.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And with this guy, I don't know that you're surprised when he has back-to-back games like this. He just keeps excelling.
What I like about him is that every year he doesn't settle for being one of the best in the game. He tries to make himself better. Almost like those great basketball players. I remember hearing about Kobe Bryant wanting to add something to his game every offseason. Magic Johnson, what do I need to work on to get better? Michael Jordan had that fadeaway before his career was over. Those are the best. Even though they're at the top of their game, they find ways to get better.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks. And now here comes Kansas City. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark it down to 39. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
39, Detroit!
They'll look to throw again. To the right side, and he's got Macklin. Complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
They'll hand it off. This is Charles. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. And now here comes Kansas City. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the... Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down, 4 down. Alert. Hurry up, watch him now, Barney.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got time in the pocket. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
We got three, fellas, we got three.
They come up in an offset eye. As they've done all day, they run with Charles. And now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. On second down, Jamal Charles. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's it, baby.
Still second down.
Double tight, double tight. No. Three down. Now let's go. Green.
Again, it's Charles. Given 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. 3rd down and 5.
We got trips over here. Let's overload. Set. Blue 90.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Gonna throw right side here. Complete. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. On the run, it's Charles. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll keep it on the ground with Charles again. Look at the spin. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think of run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Chiefs, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the San Diego Chargers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Chiefs victorious.